Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to Climate Exchange's 10th annual EV Raffle. We are super excited to draw our 4 lucky winners today. Before I go into the details for this year's raffles and the process we've been doing here today with making sure every ticket is accounted for and loaded into the raffle drums, I want to do some quick introductions of the staff and team members that we have in the room today, starting with myself. Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Pontillo. I am Climate Exchange's Communications Director and Operations Lead. I've been with Climate Exchange about 8 years now. I've been here since our 3rd raffle. So mostly behind the scenes, behind the camera. I think it was the 3rd raffle I drew our lucky winners, but I've been behind the camera since then, but I'm back. I have Ruby here. She is our Policy and Research Manager. I'm sure you recognize her from our previous raffles. She's drawn our winners the last few years now. And with us we have Zach from Walden Company. He is our auditor for the raffle today. He helped us make sure that all of the tickets here were accounted for. I'll go through that process in a little bit. We have Irene, our operations manager, who is conducting the live stream for us right now. So she is behind the camera for today. And last but not least, we have Peter Kirby. He is our raffle director and has been a board member at Climate Exchange for many years now. 10 years, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure everybody recognizes Peter. He is usually the one in front of the camera. But this is our 10th annual EV Raffle. We've been doing this 10 years now. So to celebrate the big milestone this year, we decided to add a 2nd raffle, our mini raffle. So we have our mini raffle, which the winner will get any EV on the market up to $45,000, all taxes and fees paid for by Climate Exchange. And we have our luxury raffle, which is more like the raffle I think that we've had in previous years, which is any EV on the market up to $120,000, all taxes and fees paid for by Climate Exchange. And then we have 2 cash prizes today. 2nd place is $12,500, 3rd place $7,500. So we will begin the process in the next hour of making sure all of these ticket stubs get loaded into their respective raffle drum. I'm going to go into a couple ways that we have made sure every ticket's here, how we've kept each raffle ticket stub separate from each other, how we'll make sure everything gets in the raffle drum, and then kind of keep everybody updated along the way to keep you entertained for the next hour. We'll always have the video feeds going to us loading the raffle drums so you can see us, but we'll also play videos from staff members talking more about our work too. So we'll dive into those soon, but to talk a bit about what you're seeing here, we have folders for raffle stubs, 100 per folder. We have envelopes with 25 stubs per envelope within each folder. Before today, Zach, our auditor, went through randomly selecting tickets to make sure the information was correct. Tickets that were supposed to be there are there. Any refunded tickets were not there. So we have an accurate count of tickets here. To keep everything separate, we have mini raffle tickets in these blue folders, luxury raffle tickets in the clear folders. I'm going to come towards the camera to show you what you'll see when we pick our winning ticket stubs too, which was an extra security measure to make sure we did not mix anything up. But we have these kind of colored bars on the side of our ticket stubs too. Orange is the luxury raffle, blue is the mini raffle, so you very clearly immediately can see which raffle a stub is for. And this year we had perforated ticket stubs, so it ensured that every single stub is the same size. So we will begin loading those. Other precautions, even before our audit, Irene and I went through and what we call validated the tickets. So once everything was loaded into their envelopes and folders, we went back through and double checked everything. And then Zach was our final check to make sure that everything is here. So Ruby and I will begin the process of loading the raffle drums. The last thing is we randomized the order of these. So if you happen to have a higher ticket number or a lower ticket number, like we're not chronologically going through them. So it just randomizes things more. We'll like stir the raffle drum as we go here and there and just mix everything up. But I think that's a good overview. I'll go through these a couple more times as we load, just for anybody new joining, but we can start. And while we start loading, we have our first video from our executive director, Paola, who's going to talk, give an overview of Climate Exchange's work, and talk more about the organization. But we'll get started. Cool. All right.
Hi, my name is Paola Ferreira Miani. I'm the Executive Director of Climate Exchange. Climate Exchange focuses on supporting states in advancing climate policy to achieve a zero-emissions economy. We provide resources, tools, connections, and educational materials to state actors working to advance climate action at the state level. With changes in federal leadership and the reversal of federal climate policies, states will play an even more critical role in addressing the climate crisis. Fortunately, the momentum towards a zero-emissions economy is strong, and we are confident that state actors will continue to work tirelessly to advance climate solutions. At Climate Exchange, we are steadfast in our commitment to working with them on science-based policies, regardless of political affiliation. Our theory of change is by strengthening the climate movement, we empower policymakers and state actors to implement solutions that will drive states to rapidly and equitably reduce greenhouse gas emissions while growing their economies, creating jobs, and a healthier environment. CXC plays a crucial role in the climate movement as we are one of the few organizations that serves all 50 states with our programming by providing actionable materials that support state actors meaningfully. We connect policymakers and advocates from across the country to share best practices and offer information and analysis on the policies states have passed so future legislation is effective and equitable. We also offer free technical assistance. We do this through our two national programs, the State Climate Policy Network and the State Climate Policy Dashboard, which we will hear more about during this live stream. We launched our redesigned State Climate Policy Dashboard that covers 62 policies across 50 states. It's a fantastic tool, and I encourage you to check it out. Since mid-October, the dashboard has had more than 20,000 active users. Our State Climate Policy Network engaged more than 1,500 state actors directly through our programming, and we completed 24 policy assistance requests. We also conducted a network-wide survey to understand the current needs of the network so we can tailor our programming to better serve them. This is huge for us because it means we are providing free programming and resources to state actors who are taking advantage of these offerings. We owe so much of this success to the funds we collect through this raffle, so I am incredibly grateful for your participation. We have ambitious plans for 2025. We will continue to add new policies, resources, and features to the dashboard to ensure it remains the best resource possible for policymakers and advocates. Additionally, we're expanding our programming within the network to ensure we cater to their current needs to drive impactful climate action. Finally, I would like to thank everyone for participating in the raffle and for helping make our work possible. Without your support, we would not be able to run our programs as effectively as we do.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I actually didn't mention how many tickets we've sold in each raffle before we went to that first video. So out of the 5,000 luxury raffle tickets we were selling, we sold 4,158. And out of the 3,500 mini raffle tickets we were selling, we sold 2,192. So your odds are a little bit better than if we had sold out today. We'll still have the 4 lucky winners. And right now, Ruby and I are both loading about 300 tickets in. So we're loading at a good rate. Paola talked a bit about our work in that video. This year in particular, with the changes we've seen on the federal level, state climate action is even more important, and states have incredibly far-reaching jurisdiction in the policies that they can enact to keep continuing towards climate goals. So Climate Exchange's work this year in particular has felt really important. We're going to start diving into our program areas with videos featuring Ruby, talking about her work. So Paola's video, she talked about our two programs, the State Climate Policy Network and our State Climate Policy Dashboard. So our next video is featuring our State Climate Policy Network staff, talking more about our network and really what we do to connect advocates from across the country working on state level policies, and then also the resources we provide them. So you'll see Kristen and Bryn from our State Climate Policy Network team.
Hi, my name is Kristen Suarez, and I am the State Climate Policy Network Manager here at Climate Exchange.
Hi, my name is Bryn Medora, and I am the State Climate Policy Network Associate here at Climate Exchange.
So the State Climate Policy Network, or the SCPN, is a network of over 15,000 folks working in and around state-level climate policy.
Those are individuals anywhere from state legislators to advocates to really just anybody looking to pass effective and equitable climate policy at the state level.
So the theory of change for the SCPN, what's really powering everything that we do is really learning from the vast experience already held in the national network of state climate policy actors. We aim to deduplicate efforts to make your campaign more effective and equitable from the get-go. So I always say someone somewhere has done what you're trying to do, and if we bring those experts to you, you can go from step 1 to step 3, learning from advocates across the country, experts who have worked on similar issues as you, and really work to drive down emissions on the timescale that we need to do it. So all of the SCPN services are free and open for anyone to access. Joining the network is free as well. And we have a wide slate of offerings for all of the sorts of folks that are in the network. We have virtual events where we'll have monthly deep dive webinars where we'll invite experts from across the country to come and chat about a specific niche climate policy topic. So, for example, state-level methane abatement or implementing Justice 40 at the state level. We also host monthly national calls where we'll invite folks from the network to give updates on what their state's most recent climate policy developments are, whether that's legislation, regulations, executive orders, elections, really anything, really a quick snapshot into what that state has been up to in recent months.
We also offer a quarterly legislators call where we invite legislators and their staff to talk about their experiences and how they are pushing climate policy forward in their state. We also have a bi-weekly newsletter where we provide progress updates on policy across the country.
We have articles explaining different sorts of policy mechanisms through our dashboard digest, and we also provide pro bono policy assistance to SCPN members. So folks will reach out explaining what their campaign is about and asking for support on a variety of issues. And if we can help you, then we do. We have great in-house policy experts powered by our State Climate Policy Dashboard, which tracks over 65 types of different state-level climate policies in all 50 states. And I always say, if we can't help you, then we can connect you to someone who can. And so we have a large network of partners, experts, advocates across the country working at all different levels of government that we can connect you with to really ensure that you're learning from the deep experience held in the national network of climate policy actors.
The SCPN's work is important in a number of different ways, but I think one of the most important things that we do is that we hold a vast amount of experience within our network, and we really work to connect people, to combine resources, and to make campaign efforts more effective.
We've been working for decades as a national climate movement in this country, and we are best working when we work together. And that's really what the SCPN aims to do, is connecting folks across the country to really ensure that we can harness this momentum and this power of state actors, not only in one state, but across the country.
The State Climate Policy Network accomplished so many different things in 2024. We engaged over 4,000 members across our 22 events, including 8 webinars inviting experts to talk about a variety of climate policy topics, 11 monthly national calls with members sharing recent state-level policy developments, and 3 legislators' calls engaging policymakers on the best practices for legislative campaigns.
We also added over 1,500 new SCPN members this past year across all states and sectors, from NGO advocates and researchers to state legislators and agency staffers and beyond.
We also completed 24 assistance requests across 9 states, assisting members across sectors from a state legislator in Michigan to a nonprofit advocate in West Virginia to state agency staffers in New Mexico.
We also launched our transmission series, where we're working to educate climate actors on the importance of transmission and the ways states can lead the way in modernizing and expanding our grid to meet rising energy demand and state decarbonization goals. We also completed our first ever network-wide feedback process, where we used focus groups and surveys to understand how our members are using our offerings, where there might be gaps in our support, and how we can alter our programming to better meet the needs of various sub-audiences within our large 15,000 person network.
With the change in federal administration and the subsequent rollbacks of essential federal climate funding, the SCPN will continue to provide free, unconditional support to all state climate policy actors. We're working to bolster our offerings to improve connectivity across the movement and leverage the vast knowledge and experience held within our network.
Thanks to everyone participating in the raffle for making our work possible. We couldn't do it without you.
And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone participating in the raffle and for helping make our work possible.
Hi everybody, welcome back. It's funny, Peter was just mentioning, over the years, we've basically kept this structure of drawing really similar with the raffle drums and ticket stubs, but every year we can tweak things based on feedback to make sure everything is as fair and as possible. So with our previous tickets, we had, I'm sure if you've tuned into these live streams, sometimes there would be static cling where they would cling to the sides of the raffle drum. So we started putting dryer sheets into the raffle drums to reduce static cling. If anybody's been in Boston in the winter, you know it gets very staticky here. So we were debating putting them in this year, but with these new ticket stubs, the perforated ones we've been using, they're a lot of a thicker paperweight. So they're not clinging to the sides, and we'll make sure if they are in the drawer to keep kind of rolling until they get unstuck. But it doesn't seem to be an issue this year, but we will keep an eye on it. But we can move towards our next video, which is going to be on our state climate policy dashboard, which Ruby played a really integral part into getting started in 2021. We started pulling together the research to form it, and it's really grown into its own tool and resource. It's the biggest publicly accessible database of state climate policy information out there on the internet. Before I worked at Climate XChange, I worked at the Massachusetts State House for the Committee on Climate Change, and as a staffer, I would have been so happy to have the dashboard as a resource and to be able to quickly look up information of what policies are already enacted in Massachusetts, compare them to other states. It really, whatever your research journey is, whatever policy questions you have, you can explore by state, by policy. We have now a new website for it that is completely interactive, so it just makes it a much more accessible resource for people. I wish it existed when I was a staffer, but I hope State House staffers across the country and advocates we've heard make really great use out of it. So you'll see a video of Ruby talking more about it.
And before we tune to the video, I've loaded 900 tickets in. You'll see us occasionally closing the little hatch and spinning them around. So I did it at 500 tickets, doing it again at 900, and we'll just do it every couple hundred or so. You can tune back to me and learn more about the dashboard.
My name is Jordan Giroux. I'm the Director of Policy and Research at Climate XChange, and I oversee the dashboard and the State Climate Policy Network.
My name's Ruby Winsell. I'm the Policy and Research Manager at Climate Exchange, and I manage our state climate policy dashboard and support a lot of the organization's policy tracking and research.
My name is Jacqueline Adams. I'm a Senior Policy and Research Associate. I support research and content updates for the dashboard.
The State Climate Policy Dashboard is the leading research tool for understanding the state climate policy landscape across all areas of decarbonization. There is really nothing else quite like it. It allows you to understand at a glance what is happening in all 50 states across every sector of the economy, and then compare where different states are. Compare where a given state like North Carolina might be against national leaders like Massachusetts and California, or also compare against neighboring states or states in a similar economic situation. And with this, advocates on the ground can get a really clear sense of what state climate policy is already enacted in their state, what's missing, who the best practices are coming from, and we link them right to models and we link them right to best practices so that they come away from a really efficient research process having really actionable tools for how to lead state climate policy campaigns.
The State Climate Policy Dashboard is an online tool that has information on 62 different climate policies across all 50 states.
For each state, we offer key resources and links, including information about state legislators, legislative sessions, energy profiles, and GHG reduction targets if they exist. We list each policy enacted in that state and opportunities for the state to establish additional policies. We also use the Energy Policy Simulator to model GHG emission projections in each state. We also provide information and resources on each of our 62 policies so users can gain a deeper understanding of the policies that we track. You can also compare policy implementations across up to 4 states using our state comparison tool. This tool visualizes policies, key resources, and model laws in table format, providing for easy comparison across different state contexts.
The dashboard is so unique. There is no other product out there like it that gives you this kind of economy-wide sense of where all the different states fit in terms of their climate ambition and policies and policy holes.
I would say the dashboard is unique for a couple reasons. The first just being the scope of the dashboard. We're the only tool that has a 50 state coverage as well as all economic sectors. Another reason it's unique is we update it regularly. We want to make sure that people using the dashboard have the most up-to-date information on climate policies. Another reason why it's unique is the just vast amount of information that we compile on the dashboard. It's a great aggregator of resources, of organizations, of data. We feature over 100 organizations' resources on the dashboard, that whether that's integrating emissions modeling data into state pages or highlighting key resources and model rules from organizations.
For the next 4 years, we're really expecting that the climate policy fight is going to shift to the states, and that means state actors need accurate, comprehensive, and regularly updated information about what climate policy holes exist out there in that landscape. There are a lot of experts that want to lend their voice to this fight, but moving state by state between 50 states, nobody can have that kind of comprehensive knowledge unless there's a source out there that compiles it all and makes it easily accessible. So in terms of unlocking what the climate movement can do at the state level over the next 4 years, it is an indispensable tool.
We underwent a process to redesign and relaunch a website for the dashboard. Climate Exchange first launched the dashboard in November 2021. We saw people using this resource to advance policies, learn more about policies, but we knew that we could improve it, we could make it better. Climate Exchange worked with a web development company to kind of reimagine and redesign the dashboard. Since Climate Exchange relaunched the dashboard in October 2024, we've had over 20,000 active users and over 100,000 page views. We've also had over 75 citations of the dashboard coming from organizations such as ACEEE, RMI, the U.S. Chamber of Green Commerce. We've also had the dashboard listed as resources from the U.S. EPA, from the New York Times.
So on the horizon for the dashboard, we are looking to incorporate key policy opportunities. This is an additional layer of analysis that identifies high impact policy a state can enact or make more ambitious to drive the most policy impact.
We are constantly looking at what new policies we should be adding. We're looking to add several in 2025, prioritizing specifically those that are especially important during this era of rollbacks at the federal level. What sorts of gap-filling policies should states be considering that might help blunt the impact of federal rollbacks? And the other thing we're looking to add is a lot more policy components. So it's one thing to know if your state has a policy, and it's another to be able to compare all of the different elements of a policy across 50 different states and really see where the leaders are.
Lastly, I just want to thank everyone for participating in the raffle, for making Climate Exchange's work possible. We really appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for participating in the raffle. Thank you for making our work possible. And thank you for contributing to the fight for a stable climate.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So we have our communications manager, Greg, answering questions in the chat. And I heard that he launched a poll asking everybody what EV they would pick if they won. So I'm excited to hear all of the different options that people are throwing out in the chat. So another change we had this year for the luxury raffle is we've had in years past people ask to do this, so we decided to throw it in for our 10th raffle. But if you win the grand prize, you also have the option of getting 2 electric vehicles up to that max grand prize value of $120,000. So you can either get one very high-end luxury vehicle up to that max prize value, or 2 equaling that max prize value. And we've always covered the prize taxes and fees for cars because one, with a prize as expensive as a luxury EV, the taxes are pretty expensive, and most people don't have that much money lying around. And we want people to be able to pick a car and not the alternative cash prize value for that grand prize, because ultimately we want more EVs on the road. So we could have up to 3 EVs on the road this year if our luxury grand prize winner picks 2 EVs, or 2 EVs, one for the luxury, one for the mini. So yeah, we're excited for those changes this year. But we do have one, actually we can give updates on where we are with stubs before going into our last staff video that we have talking about our work. I just am at 1100 with the mini being loaded. As Ruby said, you can see us kind of periodically spinning the raffle drums to further mix up ticket stubs. Where are you with everything, Ruby?
I am at a little over 1,600 tickets, again, out of 4,158. So I have to pick up the pace a little bit because we're halfway. It's 2:30, and I'm a little bit behind on almost halfway, but not quite there yet.
Yeah, I will hop over and help finish the luxury raffle. So we did have more ticket purchases there versus the mini. But to reiterate for anybody just joining, the order that we're loading ticket stubs, we did a random number generation to mix up ticket stubs, so they're not being loaded from lowest to highest value. And then again, we are periodically stirring the raffle drums to further mix up those tickets. So we are going envelope by envelope loading while we play our staff videos for everybody, and we'll follow that up with some videos of our winners and what cars they chose. But for our final staff video, it's going to be focusing on something that we call policy progress. We have bi-weekly newsletters that go out to our entire state climate policy network. And especially this year, it's been critical. We have state level updates within the last couple of weeks, anything newly enacted in a state. And then we also added federal updates that are pertinent for state level actors and also federal funding updates that are pertinent for state level work. So without further ado, I'll roll the video with Jordan, our research policy and research director, Ruby, and Jacqueline.
So every 2 weeks, our network of around 15,000 people in the State Climate Policy Network get a policy update from us. And that is a survey of everything that's going on at the state and federal level that folks in the trenches really need to know about.
We called these policy progress updates. They focus on state and federal climate policy developments.
We closely track bills that are passed in legislative sessions, and we comb through newsletters and trusted sources to find the most important and relevant updates that will impact actors in our network.
So we provide a summary of bills that have been enacted. We identify the bill numbers, bill names, link out to them, and then provide a brief summary of what the policies do. Other forms of updates include new executive orders have been issued or final rules and regulations have been approved. We also include updates on state climate plans, updated emissions inventories, stuff that are more reports and documents and not necessarily policies themselves.
We also highlight federal funding awards and opportunities and instances of regional collaboration.
Obviously, we're a state-focused organization, but we know that we have a part to play in helping state actors understand what's happening at the federal level and how it affects their work at the state level. So we like to give people useful summaries, useful information, and then resources about how what they're doing at the state level can help combat some of what we're seeing at the federal level.
These updates are important because they provide timely and actionable information directly for state actors. Both it's important to stay on top of what your state's doing so you can understand the shifting policy landscape, but also states do learn from each other, and you might see a state with a similar context as yours, whether they have similar emissions profiles or maybe economic drivers. You could say, oh, that state did this. Maybe that's an idea that I could bring into my state and work on that policy.
These kinds of updates are so important because state actors learn from each other. State actors need to see all of the progress that's being made across all 50 jurisdictions and where the emerging trends are and where there is a groundswell of movement, because that can turn you on to ideas that you might not even be aware of in your own state, opportunities where the technology is progressing or the politics are progressing, and you start to see a constellation of states moving in a certain direction, and you realize what you might be able to accomplish in your own state. So our newsletter is a great way of keeping informed, and I think a real value to our State Climate Policy Network.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Ruby and I are still loading the raffle drums, making progress. We did have a question in the chat, how many tickets for each raffle were sold this year? So for the luxury raffle, out of the 5,000 tickets we were selling, we sold 4,158 tickets. And for the mini raffle, where we were selling 3,500 tickets, we sold 2,192 tickets. So Ruby and I are going through each folder, unloading the stubs into the drum. Again, folders were randomly placed on the table, so they're not going from lowest to highest, just to mix things up more. And we're going envelope by envelope. For people just joining now, I described earlier, but we have a very thorough checking system to make sure that every ticket that was purchased is here on this table, and then to make sure that every ticket is then loaded into the raffle drum. So led by Irene, our operations manager, we print ticket stubs for every ticket purchased. They are loaded 25 each into these envelopes, and then in groups of 100, they're loaded into these folders and labeled. Again, to differentiate the mini raffle from the Lux raffle, mini tickets were in the blue envelopes, luxury tickets were in the clear envelopes, and then on top of that, I'm sure you can see the little bits of colors appearing in the raffle drums, but mini tickets have a blue strip of color on them. Luxury tickets have an orange strip of color on them to visually make sure nothing's getting mixed up. After all the ticket stubs are printed, we have sheets for each 100 tickets that are printed out so that we can go through and verify or double check that every ticket that was purchased is included in the envelopes. Any tickets that were refunded are not included in the envelopes. And then we have our auditor, Zach from Walden Company, come in today and just do a random list of tickets to check that the information's correct on them, that they are in fact there. And then they are placed on these tables where Ruby and I go through and go envelope by envelope and put them in the raffle drums. So we've done the system, I think since I've been here in the third raffle at least, and have kind of tweaked it over the years. But it's worked well in picking all of our lucky winners. So we've made it up this point through our videos of staff talking about the really important work that Climate Exchange is doing. Now we have some fun videos of our previous winners picking up their cars. So we're gonna start from our most recent raffle winner until we draw the names today. So our 9th raffle winner, his name was Dan, and he picked an R1T. So he lived in New Hampshire and came down to Boston to pick up the car. So our raffle director, Peter, was able to meet him there and get some great video footage of him checking out his new car for the first time. So here he is.
Hello, Peter.
Yes.
This is Dan Nelson. How are you?
Hi, Dan. I've got you on, well, we're filming this with FaceTime for your reaction. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm shocked. I work third shift, so I was sleeping, and then I got a call, and I'm like, what? I couldn't believe it.
Well, congrats. What car are you thinking of?
Probably the Rivian R1T, but I'm gonna talk to the boss, my wife, and we'll find out.
I entered it because I believe in the cause, your mission, and it's also fun to kind of imagine winning. Now I don't have to imagine though. Couldn't believe it was me. I had to double check, triple check, had my wife look at the video as well, the live stream, and yeah, it was real. I work third shift, so I was sleeping when the live stream happened, and then woke up after I heard a phone call and checked it and couldn't believe my ears. Yeah, this is the Rivian R1T Tri-Max. It's beautiful. This is their Ascend interior, and it's not the traditional black. It's the blue and white, and it's really nice.
Any last thoughts on the Climate Exchange raffle?
Oh, make sure everyone buys a ticket. All the people you know.
Welcome back, everybody. Irene just let me know the results of the poll for what EV you would pick, and Rivian got 40%, which, so you might be like last year's winner and able to get a Rivian of your own. I think my personal dream EV is an R3X, so would love to see those out on the road when they start going into production. Maybe one day I could get one. But to give an update on where Ruby and I are with loading the raffle drums, I'm doing the mini raffle, and I am, let's see, I am over 1,000, about 1,500. So making my way to 2,000 at this point. And then I will help fill the rest of the luxury raffle stubs because we've got a bit more purchases with that raffle. But while we keep loading, actually, where are you, Ruby?
I am about to hit 2,700. And right now I'm loading in tickets 2001 to 2025. So could be the winner in there. We don't know.
Awesome.
But I've picked up the pace a little bit and have about 1,400 or so tickets left to add in.
Great. Well, while we talk about winners, we can go to the video of our 8th raffle winner, Heinrich from Florida, and we can check out the Tesla he got.
So my name is Henry. I want to show you a little bit the thing what I won with the EV Raffle. And the moment you hear your name, it's worth it. That you have won. It's unbelievable, it's surreal, but on the other hand, someone has to win. So I won. And this crazy thing is, I knew from the moment I bought the tickets, I bought some, I knew I would win. I was sure. And it happened. It was crazy all the time. And now, and I bought the tickets too because I think what climate change XChange is doing is a very great thing. I won the thing, the grand prize, and it was up to me to decide what I get. And finally, after looking a little bit around, I decided to go with the Tesla X. And now we are sitting in the thing, and I'm blown away. I thought I knew what an EV is. I have never had one before. But this is not really an EV. I mean, this is so much more. This thing is phenomenal. And what I love is climate XChange. I mean, the way to how they finance themselves with the raffle, it's great, yes. And for doing great work. And you can do it too, but you have to buy a ticket. Without a ticket, there will be no win, at least not for you. So I strongly recommend get some tickets when it starts in October and enjoy the ride. And I do.
Hi everybody, welcome back. We're just about 15 minutes away from drawing and announcing our winners, so we are almost there. Ruby and I are still making steady and quick progress on loading the raffle drums, and we will keep you updated. As we get closer to 3 o'clock, I'll go over the process of printing tickets, loading the raffle drums. I'll go over the details of the raffle again one more time as new people join. And then I'll go over the process of how we will be picking the winners today before we announce them. But with that, I will send you to another video of a raffle winner. So our 7th raffle winner, Oliver from Massachusetts. It was a bit of a windy day, remember, for this video. So there are subtitles, but you can see how excited he is to pick up the car and hear a bit from him.
I'm here with our winner, Oliver Boucher, and his daughter Alicia and granddaughter Sonia in front of the Model X.
Well, for a mere $250, we got ourselves $1 million car. That's pretty exciting. Well, for me, I don't own it because I passed it on to my daughter. What's her children?
Yeah, it's been excellent. We go everywhere. We have a great time. It's very helpful. It's I like driving it. I like the convenience of it, and I love driving an electric vehicle. I love that I can charge it at my house at night. And I love the ease with which I can pop the babies in the car and we can get around.
Well, I've never won anything before, so this is an amazingly wonderful raffle because I won it. And you too, from a sales point of view, you too could win it. It's a terrific win. And it's a good thing. I bought the raffle because I thought it would be good for the environment. The more electric cars we got, the better.
Oh yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, I did not buy the raffle ticket, but if I had known, I would have. It's great, and yeah, just like my dad said, it's great to have more electric vehicles out there on the road, people driving them, people, you know, winning them in raffles or investing in them, you know, on their own as well.
And we're going to buy another raffle ticket.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Update on drum loading. I have reached 2,000, so I am just finishing up. After this envelope, I have one more to go, and then I'll help finish up the luxury raffle tickets with Ruby so that we can make our 3 o'clock drawing, because I'm sure everybody is getting very excited to see if their tickets are one of our 4 lucky winners today. Since we're getting closer to the drawing, again, we have 2 raffles this year. We were celebrating 10 years of hosting this fundraiser, so we wanted to put more EVs on the road. So new this year, we have our mini raffle, which is any EV on the market up to $45,000. We were selling 3,500 tickets and ended up selling 2,192 of those tickets. So those are getting loaded into the drum. And then we had our luxury raffle, which is more similar to the raffles we've had in the past, which is any EV on the market up to $120,000 plus 2 cash prizes. Second place being $12,500, third place being $7,500. Out of the 5,000 tickets we were selling there, we sold 4,158 tickets. So that's what's being loaded into Ruby's raffle drum. We are going to continue filling up the drums, and while we do that, with 10 minutes left, we will share, I think, probably one more winner video, and that was our 6th raffle winner, Chris from Washington State. Yeah, let's cue his video.
Oh my gosh, Climate Exchange, thank you guys so much. This is so amazing. This is I got the Tesla Plaid Model S. Look at it, it's incredible. This is the car that I got, the Plaid Model S. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm just beside myself. It is an incredible car. The work that you guys do, the policy work that you guys do, state by state, is incredible and super important. The raffle is amazing. You know, you always enter those things not thinking that you would win, and I won, and yeah, it is, my family is just so excited. We've been talking about getting a Tesla for so long, and to win one, wow, that's just incredible. And I love that you guys offer, you know, the very best. I did want to give a shout out to Zach and Jesse from the Now You Know channel. They introduced me to your organization, and so yeah, I owe them a big shout out. All right, so my daughter is playing a video game here in the new car. Driving. Is that pretty fun, Sienna? round of applause. Okay, say thank you, Climate XChange.
Thank you, Climate Exchange.
Keep protecting the environment and keep that raffle going. It's great. All right, thanks all. Bye.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So as you can see, I have moved over so we can finish loading the luxury drum. The mini raffle drum is fully loaded. Gave it another little spin with everything in there. And now in the last 8 minutes before we switch over to drawing, Ruby and I will be finishing up loading the luxury tickets.
Yep, we have about 300 more tickets to load in, so we're getting close.
Yeah. I think in this last kind of bit of space before we start going into drawing mode and I tell you more about the process we'll use for drawing our winners, I want to share once more, now that we've got more people on the live stream, a video from our executive director, Paola, talking about our organization and our work, and just have fresh eyes on why we're having our raffle, the work it funds, and yeah, the incredible team behind it all.
Hi, my name is Paola Ferreira Miani. I'm the Executive Director of Climate XChange. Climate XChange focuses on supporting states in advancing climate policy to achieve a zero-emissions economy. We provide resources, tools, connections, and educational materials to state actors working to advance climate action at the state level. With changes in federal leadership and the reversal of federal climate policies, states will play an even more critical role in addressing the climate crisis. Fortunately, the momentum towards a zero-emissions economy is strong, and we are confident that state actors will continue to work tirelessly to advance climate solutions. At Climate XChange, we are steadfast in our commitment to working with them on science-based policies, regardless of political affiliation. Our theory of change is by strengthening the climate movement, we empower policymakers and state actors to implement solutions that will drive states to rapidly and equitably reduce greenhouse gas emissions while growing their economies, creating jobs, and a healthier environment. CXC plays a crucial role in the climate movement as we are one of the few organizations that serves all 50 states with our programming by providing actionable materials that support state actors meaningfully. We connect policymakers and advocates from across the country to share best practices and offer information and analysis on the policies states have passed so future legislation is effective and equitable. We also offer free technical assistance. We do this through our 2 national programs, the State Climate Policy Network and the State Climate Policy Dashboard, which we will hear more about during this live stream. We launched our redesigned State Climate Policy Dashboard that covers 62 policies across 50 states. It's a fantastic tool, and I encourage you to check it out. Since mid-October, the dashboard has had more than 20,000 active users. Our State Climate Policy Network engaged more than 1,500 state actors directly through our programming, and we completed 24 policy assistance requests. We also conducted a network-wide survey to understand the current needs of the network so we can tailor our programming to better serve them. This is huge for us because it means we are providing free programming and resources to state actors who are taking advantage of these offerings. We owe so much of this success to the funds we collect through this raffle, so I am incredibly grateful for your participation. We have ambitious plans for 2025. We will continue to add new policies, resources, and features to the dashboard to ensure it remains the best resource possible for policymakers and advocates. Additionally, we're expanding our programming within the network to ensure we cater to their current needs to drive impactful climate action. Finally, I would like to thank everyone for participating in the raffle and for helping make our work possible. Without your support, we would not be able to run our programs as effectively as we do.
Hi everybody, welcome back. You are joining us just as Ruby empties the final ticket stub envelope into the luxury raffle drum. So with these ticket stubs, we are officially ready for the drawing. I know we have a few minutes. I definitely don't want to draw before 3 o'clock to make sure everybody makes it to the live stream, but Irene was passing along some of the questions coming through the chat. The one question being, how do we make sure that we haven't left any ticket stubs in the envelope? As we've been loading them in, we just double check to make sure the envelope's empty. These ticket stubs this year are a heavier paperweight, so it's easier to tell that everything is out of there and entered into the drum. So we've been double checking as we go along to make sure everybody purchased a ticket, your ticket is in one of these drums. With that, I'll start going through the details of this year's raffle again. I'll go through the steps that we took in the last hour to load these drums, and then go through the process of how we'll draw the winners, which should happen a little after 3 o'clock. So we had 2 raffles this year in celebration of our 10th year running this fundraiser. So we wanted to put at least one more car on the road. Our mini raffle, our new raffle, is the winner will get any EV on the market up to $45,000. We also pay the taxes and fees for that vehicle. And then our luxury raffle, which is more similar to previous raffles we've had, it is for any EV on the market up to $120,000, taxes and fees paid by Climate Exchange. And then we also have 2 cash prizes today. Second place will get $12,500. Third place will get $7,500. We also had an early bird drawing for our luxury raffle that took place on Halloween. And we did pick our lucky winner of $10,000 for that, Barbara Cato from Tennessee. If you're on the live stream, hello, and congratulations again. So yeah, that's the details for the 2 raffles. So the process we took to get here today in preparing all the ticket stubs, Irene, our operations manager, she coordinated the printing of all of the ticket stubs. We organized them in folders with 25 tickets per folder, and then those folders go into envelopes that contain 100 tickets. To keep the mini raffle and the luxury raffle separate, mini raffle envelopes or folders were blue, luxury raffle folders were clear, and then if you can kind of see the pops of colors in these different drums, we had a second visual indicator to make sure they stayed separate. Mini raffle tickets have a blue stripe of color, luxury raffle tickets have an orange stripe. Ruby is bringing some sample tickets up to the video so you can see a little closer before we pick the winners. So all of those tickets were printed, sorted. We then, amongst our staff, have a validation process. We print out every ticket with the ticket buyer information and whether the ticket's valid or invalid if it's been refunded, to make sure all tickets paid for make it into the raffle, and tickets that were refunded do not make it into the raffle. So we do that as a first check, and then we have our auditor, Zach from Walden Company. He comes in ahead of our drawing. He randomly selects a list of tickets to double check that the buyer information matches, that it is in fact present, and that is our kind of second check to make sure everything's here. And then again, Ruby and I, when we're loading them into the drums, we just make sure the envelopes are empty, and we go through, we randomly placed the envelopes so that they weren't in the lowest to highest order, just to mix things up even more. As we were loading drums, we were kind of shuffling things around, so everything should be thoroughly mixed. And with that, we're just past 3 o'clock, so I will go through our process of how we will pick winners and how we'll announce them to you. So Ruby will be picking our winners. What we'll do is we draw the winners and we tape them up on the whiteboard so that we can announce them all at once. So we'll pull our mini raffle winning ticket, we will tape it up on the whiteboard, not facing you all, so we can announce the winners, and then we will start by drawing the grand prize here so that every ticket in the drum has a chance at winning the grand prize. Then we do second prize and then third prize. When we announce, Ruby will bring the tickets up to the camera like she did those sample tickets so you can see the information. We'll announce the names. We'll start with the mini prize, and then when we go to the luxury raffle, We'll start with the third prize, then the second, and then end with our ultimate grand prize of the day. So with that, just thinking it's 3:02, so we're past the advertised drawing date or time, so I think we can get started and start picking our winners.
Are there any questions
Yeah.
before we do, or is everyone just ready to
Ready to
find out
hear?
the winners?
Awesome. Great. The moment we've been waiting for is here. So I'll give the mini raffle tickets one last go around. Ruby will kind of mix things up and make sure everything is in there before picking anyone. I'll grab tape for you.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Yeah.
I've rolled up my sleeves. I'll make sure all the tickets are off the sides. I'll mix them up a little bit. And here we go. I'll just
Our
mix
lucky
them up,
mini raffle winner.
and I won't look. And here it is. I won't even look myself.
I'll close this back up. Great. Here, I'll give this one last spin. Good luck, everybody. We'll be picking 3 lucky winners from this raffle drum, starting with our grand prize. So every ticket in here has a chance at winning an EV up to $120,000, or new this year, you can pick 2 EVs as long as it's under that $120,000 max. We pay taxes and fees. So here we go. We are drawing the grand prize winner.
Yep, just digging around, trying to mix them up. Yep, Peter gave us a drum roll. I don't think you were able to hear it, but okay.
Feel the energy in this room.
Yeah. Here we go, picking the grand prize winner. I will get some tape, tape it up there. Should we stir again, or should I just dig through? What do you think?
Yeah, we'll start again.
We'll close it back up and
build the anticipation.
shake them around, yeah. kill some time.
Make sure everybody makes it. And then once we announce winners, so Ruby will bring the ticket stub up to the camera so everybody can see it. And then we, as soon as we're able to write down that information, we'll put it in the chat and then put it up on the screen of the drawing too before we end the live stream. So here is our second prize winner.
Oh, yep. Okay, here we go, second prize.
$12,500 winner, just selected. All right, and now one more spin around for our third place. And again, all of these ticket sales support Climate Exchange's work. So we are truly appreciative of everybody. I know there's so many people who participate in our raffle year after year who support our work. It's so important, especially now. We can be really impactful on the state level and really pass policies that make a real difference. So we are truly thankful. And with that, we will pick our third prize winner. There we go. $7,500. There we go.
Okay.
Everybody has been selected. All right. So, without further ado, just lock that up so we don't lose anything. We'll announce first our mini prize winner. So that is the EV, any EV on the market up to $45,000, taxes and fees paid for by Climate Exchange, and then we will move on to our luxury raffle winners. With that, Ruby.
Okay, the winner of the mini raffle is Parth Patel of Cranberry.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
TWP, Pennsylvania. I'm not quite sure, but Township. Thank you, Peter. Ticket number 2014 of the mini raffle. So I'll walk it up. Congratulations. Again, Parth Patel from Pennsylvania. Ticket 2014.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our first EV winner of the day. All right. Irene will write that down so we can throw it in the chat for everybody. And with that, we will move on to our luxury raffle. Here we're going to start with third prize, second prize, and then end with our biggest prize of the day, our grand prize for the raffle. So, third place, $7,500. Who is our winner?
Grand reveal. Bryce
Delhoung
from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Ticket number 1739. Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is testing my name and location pronunciations on the spot.
Yeah, it's a high pressure.
Congratulations, Bryce from Massachusetts. Ticket number 1739. And again, this is for the third prize of $7,500. Here you go.
Okay. Next is second prize, $12,500. I think we're ready to reveal.
Second prize is Marius Jizbreski from Monument, Colorado. Ticket number 2107. Congratulations. Let me tape that up. Again, ticket number 2107. Marius from Monument, Colorado. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, so the moment we've all been waiting for. So this is our grand prize in the luxury raffle. That is any EV on the market up to $120,000. Taxes and fees paid by Climate Exchange, or 2 EVs totaling up to that $120,000. So without further ado, our grand prize winner for the luxury raffle is, no, you keep going.
Carl Benson from Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Ticket number 292. Congratulations.
Congratulations. You are a lucky winner.
Yay.
And thank you again so much, everybody. Your support through these raffles really, truly make our work possible. But congratulations.
Yep, congratulations, Carl from West Virginia. Ticket 292. So one of our first ticket buyers, actually.
That's great.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so those names and ticket numbers will be in the chat. They'll start showing up on the screen for the video. Again, thank you, everybody. We love bringing you this drawing every year, showcasing our work. We truly appreciate the support. We hope to see a lot of you around for our 11th raffle next year. And thank you again. And yeah, tell your friends. Yeah, we truly enjoy putting together this drawing and sharing our work. And yeah, we hope everybody has a good time watching us load the ticket drums. Congratulations to our 4 winners today and our early bird drawing winner, Barbara Cato, as well. Yeah, thank you, everyone. True, and so our next step, if you are a winner, we are calling and emailing and reaching out to make sure you know you've won one of our prizes today, and we'll follow up for next steps for picking your winning vehicles if you've won a car today. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll get that information out. We'll also email it to everybody, so you'll have a few different places to see who the winners are. And Irene is just getting those winners up on the screen. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, thank you.